And to start, we'll just rise up and take the second stanza of our national anthem. Together. In 3. O God of creation, direct our noble cause, guide our leaders right, empower their truth to know, in love and honesty to grow, and living just and true. Great love the height attain, to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign. Thank you very much. Let's sit down. So let's. I'll just pass on the mic to my colleagues at this side of the table to do a brief introduction of themselves. My name is Farouk Adetola. I'm the media coordinator of Food Fix Support Initiative. Good morning and you're welcome.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Oladejo Olasupomi. I am the head of operations and partnership for Food Fix Support Initiative.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Ibrahim Onilebale. I'm the CEO of Food Fix Support Initiative.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Diakori Lorinda, the Chief Financial Officer of Food Fix Support Initiative.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tumila Yosabi. I'm the Programs Director of Food Fix Support Initiative.
All right, thank you very much. We welcome you once again to this brief press conference. And now that I will introduce the guests and also our media partners here, I would like to pass on the mic to Mr. Akorodi Alabi to give us the opening remarks.
Thank you very much for the president. As you all know, we always brief the members of the press on the plans for every of our programs and some of our progress in the previous period on many fronts and in many cases against the all. I would like to welcome everyone, the press, the management, and our volunteer to this press conference on World Food Aid Plans. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's going to be more like a discussion between us and the member of the press. So to also give us the
Welcome once again. Food Fix Support Initiative is a hunger relief, non-governmental and non-profitable organization that champions the cause of providing perishable and non-perishable food items to the less privileged, food insecure people around the world. So we are currently based in Lagos and will provide help to people all around the country. So Food Fix Support Initiative, in line with Food and Agricultural Organization of United Nations, celebrates every October 16, which is tagged as World Food Day, in order to raise awareness about food waste, malnutrition, and awareness about food insecurity globally. So this year, we'll be doing it just like we've been doing right from 10, 12 years ago. We're going to join the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations by raising awareness about food waste, malnutrition, and food insecurity. So the theme for this year World Food Day is Leave No One Behind. And it is, we are going to leave no one behind by continuing with the cause, which is championing the food awareness, food waste, malnutrition, like we've been doing. So according to this year World Food Day theme, this is like a wake-up call to all of us to act in a manner that strengthens the world and make the world a better place for all of us. Amidst the challenges that are facing the world, like conflict, pandemic, inflation, food price, increase in food price, and climate change, we still need to come together as one and tackle the menace, which is food insecurity and hunger. So in celebration of this year World Food Day, Food Click Support Initiative has lined up a lot of activities which will be running from October 10 to 16. And this is just to champion the cause that we've been doing. So starting from October 10, which is today, a lot of activities is going to commence, which is what we have started. And in order to make this year World Food Day celebration a special one, we plan to, celebrate our our organization, which is Food Click Support Initiative. This year makes it 10 years that the initiative has been championing the cause of ending hunger. So we intend to distribute 10,000 meals on October 16, which is the World Food Day, across 3 different locations in Lagos State. Aside that, we intend to, as Food Click Support Initiative, we intend to reflect on the life of our late founder, Mr. Bola Tinubu Fadepe, to celebrate the milestone accomplishments which he has attained during his life, and the need to consolidate the gains over the year. So we intend to touch more life this year by serving about 10,000 people with nourishable meals all across Lagos State. So my colleagues here will run through the programs that we have in celebrating the World Food Day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ibrahim Onilegbade. Just to run through the activities before I pass over the mic to Mr. Sukomi to also elaborate more on what we are doing. The activities are lined up as day one. It's the media party that we are having right now with the member of the press to help us bracket and also let everyone that cares to listen, not even care to listen to understand exactly what we are doing as far as World Food Day is concerned. And then day 2, it's about media rounds where we'll be going across to several TV stations, radio stations that will give us audience to talk to them and let them know exactly what we're doing, how we tackle hunger, food insecure people, and also some of the policies that we intend to bring to the fore to help us contain all this crisis that is currently going against us. And day 3 is the charity football competition tagged Zero Hunger Match. The World competition is organized to raise food conditions for the World Food Day in celebration of those that are struggling with hunger. And day 4 is Friday, where we'll be having food distribution. We'll be distributing 500 food boxes in Ipekileki to those families, widows, and those that are very much in need in that environment. We'll be distributing 500 food boxes to them. Then later on Friday, that's at night, we'll be having a fundraising dinner for Food Click Support Initiative Food Bank, where we intend to raise as much fund as possible for us to have our own structure where we can operate. It's going to be a network of other food pantries across Nigeria, where other lesser food banks can come around, we can service them, and also we can just walk in to come and have whether it's breakfast, lunch, or even dinner. That's our intention. And on Saturday, which is on the 15th of October, it's going to be a virtual symposium where we'll be treating a lot of topics relating to hunger, so that people across can know exactly how imperative for us to all gather together and fight against hunger, food security, and food waste management as well. Then on 16th, which is actual World Food Day, that's going to be a Sunday, Food League will also be distributing 10,000 meals, like I said, in 3 different locations across Lagos for those that are also that can't feed all the time. But this is like a celebration, fresh food meal we serve to them, 10,000 across 3 locations. So that's the breakdown of all the events we're having from Monday till Sunday, which will be the climax of the event. So now, to break it down comprehensively, I'll be handing over the mic to Mr. Sukomi to also touch more light on what Food League is exactly, because Food League is beyond just World Food Day. There are a lot of things that we do as Food League. I would also like the member of the press to be abreast with that information. So I'll pass over the mic to Sukomi.
Thank you very much, Farouk. It's a great pleasure to have a member of the press here with us today. We've been doing this for 12 years now, officially 10 years since the organization got registered. So officially this year we'll be celebrating our 10th year anniversary, but we've been doing World Food Day since 2011. This is our 12th year doing it. We appreciate, as the team for World Food Day this year says, leave no one behind. We are very, very keen on having everybody to be a part of the journey to help the food insecure people in the community. We are only doing our part, but it is beyond doing our part. The voices of the people is important. Shedding light and beaming our searchlights into areas where we can't actually get to is also very important. So it is very, very laudable for the member of the press and the turnout that we're having here today. We really appreciate your coming and being a part of this event. About World Food Day this year, it's beyond just the World Food Day event. The World Food Day this year, we are having a week-long event in celebration of so many things. This year, Food League is officially 10 years. This year, we are celebrating the life of our founder. And this year as well, we would like to appreciate everybody that has been a part of our success story over the years, from our partners to media partners to volunteers as well, and then also the lawmakers, policymakers. So it is imperative that we come around and have a week-long event. Like Farouk has said, the media panel is the kickoff, just to create awareness, as the FAO has suggested, about the series of activities that have been lined up for this day. Aside that, we'll be having a media round tomorrow to visit some of the stations that are already here, to talk more and shed more light about our impact over the years. We're just going through our data. This year alone, we have already served 45,000 meals across the country. I don't know if there's any other NGO that's done that, but I think that's a laudable one for this organization. And we are not stopping there yet. Look left and look right, you still see food boxes that are still going to be distributed this year, courtesy of one of our major partners, PepsiCo Foundation. Also, we have Noella Foundation that has been a big part of what we have been doing over the years, partnering with us on a series of World Food Day activities since 5 years now. For 5 years now, we've been partners with Noella Foundation in serving at least 3,000 to 5,000 meals across different locations around Lagos. But this year, we'll be having 10,000 meals in celebration of our 10th year anniversary across 3 locations in Lagos. We are going to be at Shomolu on the Lagos mainland. We are going to Lagos Island, that's Onola Playground, Lagos Island, and then we are going to Jakonde at the Bejuleki local government. So we are going to 3 different local governments on October 16th to share 10,000 meals to food insecure people across the board. Aside that, we are also trying to level up and then change the narrative. A reflection of the life of Bolaji Fadipe, our late founder, he has already paved the way for us. What we need to do now is build on his legacy and build on the success stories that he has lived. We are going to be raising funds to establish the first of its kind embedded food pantry in Lagos, and we will be raising fund on October 15th at the fundraising dinner and award night. October 14th at Oriental Hotel, the Skyline Hall, to raise 400 million naira to have the first of its kind embedded food bank in sub-Saharan Africa. Actually, there is no such food bank, and that's what we want to achieve. We want to go into the sustainability phase where we are not only sourcing for funds, but we are able to provide and produce the meals that we are giving people. So that's what the plan for Food Click is. We are not just going to be giving and sourcing for the food materials alone, but we want to actually go into a phase where we are also able to key into the value chain of producing meals to people that are in need of it, and also providing employment and engagement in the long run for a lot of our beneficiaries over the years. So that's our plan. But our first major activity would be a charity football event at Campus Mini Stadium on the 13th. The charity football event will feature 4 teams. There's a team for the media, because this year we are leaving nobody behind. Everybody has a role to play in curbing the menace of food insecurity in the land. So we are having a football game, tag Zero Hunger competition. We will have a team for our partners, a team for the media, a team for influencers, and a team for the volunteers. They will play a mini tournament, and a participation of the event, food donation is welcomed. Even the press is not left out. I'm sure that you guys are also stakeholders in this journey to achieve a zero hunger generation. So if you want to come and also play, you are welcome to come and cover the event. You are also welcome to come and participate in the event and play football, and let's create awareness about the menace of food insecurity in the land. On Saturday, October 15th, we will be having a World Symposium, and the topic for the World Symposium is preparing for the worst, hoping for the best, the possible effects on climate change on food production. We all know the menace of food production, the menace of climate change across board now. We are aware of the flooding that is happening in Kogi State, the flooding that is happening in Anambra State, and across Nasarawa as well. Olam Foods just released a statement saying a large rice plantation was destroyed by the flooding. These are issues that needs to be in the news. These are newsworthy items, because it's important that we are aware of the menace the climate change is causing to us. As much as we are hopeful for the possibilities the climate change is also going to bring, because a lot of things are also going to be hastened in terms of food production, but as of now, because of our unpreparedness and unawareness, there's a lot of menace that is creating across society. So we are trying to get ourselves prepared, and we are going to be discussing the topic extensively with a lot of world-renowned speakers that are going to be. The media people will also be able to join us, help us create awareness about it, help us spread the news, let more people be aware about the activity that we will be having on the 15th. And then
for me, it's not coordinated, because you said on day 3 or day 4 you'll be distributing, and on day. Another question?
Now, what happened to those in rural areas? Is there any step you are taking to make sure that they get the food?
This seemed like a drop of water in an ocean. Of course, you have distributed 450,000, but it seemed like it's not getting anywhere. So tell us what more can be done to truly end hunger.
We know we have a challenge when it comes to food distribution in the country, and we sincerely appreciate the intervention done so far in the last 10 years by Food Click. But we're also aware that Nigerians, we are fond of wasting food. The food that are not also available by the time we also have them, particularly at parties, people waste food. Is there any campaign that Food Click is going to do in that regard as for us to cut wastages? And secondly, one of the challenges we are facing when it comes to the scarcity of food in the country now is insecurity. Are you also speaking to this as regards the need for government to do more in this regard in facing out security challenges? Because farmers can't go to farm any longer, and that's also a contributing factor to the reason why we are having an increased lack of food in our society. The first one, wastages. We are fond of wasting food. And secondly, another contributing factor to lack of food in Nigeria today is because of insecurity in the land.
Thank you guys for providing food for the less privileged. Thank you. But please, I want to know what's funding this NGO. How are you guys getting funds to get all this food to the poor, to the less people? That's the first thing. Secondly, how do you guys want the public to help? First from the federal government, the state government, the local government, and the people around you that have more, that can give more. What are the word of encouragement, what to tell them, so that they can come to people of yours to at least to provide on people. That's our less privilege. Thank you.
45 meals. That's the family can feed on that for about 1 week. If it's about a family of 3 to 4. So inside that food box, we have 45 meals inside, and we'll be splitting that to 500 families in Ibeju-Lekki. So that's the first part during this week. The second part is on Sunday, where we'll be distributing 10,000 meals, cooked meals, nutritious meals. That is going to be on Sunday in 3 locations simultaneously. We have one here in Shomolu at the back of Bagara here. The next one will be in Ibeju-Lekki. Lagos Island. Another one in first one is in Shomolu. The second one is in Ibeju-Lekki, Lagos Island, and the third one is in Lekki Dakombe. So we're having 3 locations simultaneously on Sunday, and 10,000 fresh food, that is cooked meal, will be served across those 3 locations. And the first one, like I said, is on Friday, on the 14th of October, where food boxes, non-perishable food items. We have rice inside, there's semo, there's spaghetti, there's coca-colas, there's a lot of curry inside. So we split that to 500 families, and inside one we can get 45 meals inside each box. So we multiply that by 500. That's a whole lot of number.
All right, thank you very much. We have a series of questions here, though Farouk has already answered one of them. I just want to quickly run through the questions again, then we'll start taking them one after the other. The first question is, what message do we have for the government about what we are doing? What message do we have for the government? Next one is flooding. Says attention about flooding and how to curb flooding. Okay. What happens to the people in the rural areas? Okay. What more can be done to end hunger? Any campaign about food waste and security for farmers? Okay. I know this question is from Okutayo. Then who is funding the project? How do you want us to support it? Okay. I will start with what message for the government. Okay. Our message for the government is very simple. Formulate policies, create an enabling environment for non-profit organizations, doing credible things in different fields to be able to thrive in what they are doing. So, in line with this, because we are also not waiting and just sitting quiet and just watching, we have developed a document called the Social Intervention Plan, which we hope to present to the government. It's a policy document that we hope that the document could also look at. And this document alone, messages inside this document, would answer some of the questions that we have raised here about food waste, about what the government can do, and then about what more can be done to end hunger. Really, I just want to quickly go through a few things that have been highlighted in this document. So for us, it's not just about distributing food. We're also creating awareness and sensitizing people about food waste. 20% of the carbon emitted around that is causing climate change and affecting climate is coming from food waste and food dumps. So we are aware of the menace of food waste in our society, but what more can we do rather than always continue to sensitize people? Parties, restaurants, food stores on how best to manage their food. One of the policies, I'm not going to go into details, I'm just going to mention a few ones. One of the policies that we are actually proposing to the government is to have a policy where stores can give their close to buy the products to organizations like ours for us to rebate and redistribute to the people that are in need and for immediate use, so that those products will not go to waste and then they will now dump it and it creates a problem and an hazard to the society. And by this, if the government can create a policy where it's easy for these stores to donate those things to us, the government gives a tax rebate to these stores like ShopRite and the likes, gives them tax rebate, and we are able to get food that is close to buy this instead of it going to waste. We are able to repack it and give it to people that are in need of it quickly for them to use, and then it doesn't go to waste. That way, if the government can help us in that regard, it's one of the things that we can do. I feel like what I've said now answers two questions in one. He answered the question about food waste. He also answered the question about what we can do. What can the government do for us? So what happened to the people in the rural area? Let me just shed a little bit more light about what we've been doing. These food boxes you see have traveled more places than a lot of us have even traveled ourselves. Recently, just 2 weeks ago, we went to a village in Ilorin. I had never heard of the village before in my life. And it is not just in Lagos that we are doing these outreaches. Our volunteers have been to as far as Ekiti, we have been to Kogi State, our boxes have been to the north, our boxes have been to Nasarawa State, I've been to Kogi as well last year. So we've been to a lot more places that even I have traveled in this Nigeria. Our food boxes have been there. They have been to locations, rural locations that a lot of us don't even know about. This project, this PepsiCo Foundation project that we've embarked on this year, have taken us to, we have unadded new places that we have added to our database that we are not even aware of. And we will continue to go back to those places and try to do more for these people. But like I said, everybody must be involved in this. A lot of us do not know a lot of these places, but our people, some of our volunteers, the media need to shed more light, talk about places that are in need of this sort of support. When we are aware of this, we are able to reach them with our support and intervention. That's all we can do from this side. But we will need the information, then we will be able to provide the support. That's all we can do. I feel like I have spoken about food waste already. They talk about security to farmers and then farmers protection. It's a tough call from me being here because I am not a farmer, neither am I a policy maker. I belong to the non-profit NGO. I'm only providing support to the people that when the farmers bring the goods, we are going to provide the support to them. But as you have said it, I feel like layman's English, I feel like providing more support is definitely needed, not just for the farmers alone, but across the country. With the issue of insecurity across the country is well documented. Aside from security, I feel like infrastructure is also a very big need in the area of food reaching to its needed area as fast as possible. So those are key things that the government needs to look at. Aside from providing the security is very, very key. Support and subsidization is also very key because a lot of farmers do not have the resources to be able to provide the yields that is needed for the sort of population that the country has. Lagos alone, our population keeps increasing in geometric numbers every year. So we need more support from the government, but not the government alone. There's also a need for a public-private partnership in area of agriculture to ensure that the needs of the farmers are met, and then by extension the food gets to the people that are in need of it, and it becomes cheaper. Because I know that one of the reasons why there is high cost of food right now is because of the conflicts around, the insecurity around. It's making it difficult for farmers to go to their farmlands and whatnot. If that can actually be curbed, we will be able to actually have reduced cost of food across the nation. I know there is a question about us to shed more light on the food bank. So I said the food bank is an embedded food bank, and what I mean by embedded food bank is that the food bank, the first of its kind, because it's a food bank that we're also going to be having a greenhouse effect, a greenhouse farm around it. So we are going to be growing our own food, at least a percentage of our own food that we'll be distributing. We want to start growing it, and in doing that, we'll also be, by extension, providing support for some of our beneficiaries that will be working with us on the farm. Some of our volunteers will also get employment by extension to be able to work on the farm that we'll be creating, and we'll create a value chain from production to supply. So it's not just for us to get donation, purchase, and then distribute. It's also for us to create a value chain where we are able to provide meals to be sold to public at production cost, so that we would ease the burden of food costs on a lot of our beneficiaries. So that's the reason why I said it's an embedded food bank, because it's the only one that will have a farmland also embedded in the food bank. So it's not just going to be for packing food, but it's also going to be for food production in itself. So that's why I said that. Funding, I would like to pass the mic to my CEO to answer the question about funding and what you can do to help us.
All right, thank you very much. So let me speak more about the organization. Like I mentioned earlier, I said Food Support Initiative is a non-governmental organization that assists the less privileged with perishable and non-perishable food items. So let me digress more to how we started. This started more like a friendship, a group of friends coming together to tackle hunger. And how do we get funds? We started by appealing and discussing with our family members that we need to do a little thing in our own way to assist the less privileged. And ever since then, the public gets to notice us, and we receive funds from little corporate body in Nigeria, and up to the extent that we're getting support from international organizations. So part of how we intend to end hunger and how we've been ending hunger is that we'll have different programs that is targeted at different beneficiaries. We have a school meal program that is targeted at assisting people that go to people of less privilege that go to public schools, and people in the rural area that their parents struggle to make end means by providing means for them to be able to face their academic career and be attentive in class. So school meal program is one of those programs that is targeted as assisting young people in the school. Then we have community kitchen. This is a program that is designed to assist the community. We call on the community leaders, the ballet, the elders, that we know hunger is not something we can end in a day, but we can all come together as a family. There's a way we can assist one another. So people in that community, we provide food to them. They will now have a sit around the table discussion whereby we'll let the people that are well to do in that community pass whatsoever that we have in excess to us or to the ballet, whereby they now devise a means through which they now share it to people in that community. Then again, we have a large network of volunteers all across different professions that out of their leisure time, they come to Food Support Initiative to give their time and some of whatever they have as videos might to support what we do. So some of the information about people that we assist with food comes from this volunteer. I'm very sure Fire Lagos is a city, but across Lagos as a city we have different community too that one way or the other people are actually struggling to make ends meet with life. So some of these volunteers come and give us the information that okay, I live at Jakonde. Around Jakonde there is a street that is close to the lagoon. There are some people there that need assistance, so we go there by getting their data, and when we get the data we classify it into nursing mother, the widow, and people that are working poor. That is people that are working that what they get in salary is not substantial enough to take care of their family for the whole month. So we classify these people into different categories. So on monthly basis, based on whatever we're able to gather, we will now portion it and distribute it across different locations in Lagos. This is what we've been doing, and when we get the attention of the public, that is how we begin to get support from different corporate body and even get international grants. So one of the projects that is ongoing that my colleague made mention of is free food boxes, which is supported by PepsiCo Foundation. So this project is meant to feed about 500,000 people. So that shows with these boxes we have to produce 500,000 meals. So a box contains about 45 meals, and with this we'll be doing about 12,500 boxes, which will equate to 500,000 meals. So that is just more over 500,000 meals. That is just that about that. Another program that we use in tackling hunger is, if you look at Nigeria, there's no one who talk about Nigeria that you don't talk about religion. So we know we have the Muslim, the Christian, and the traditional people. So the Muslim brothers, not too long ago, they just finished the Ramadan program. So on daily basis, every Ramadan, we provide about 400 meals to the Muslims, and on the day of the Eid feast, we will serve different meals for them to enjoy yourself. And while all of this is going, there used to be a form of sensitization that you see we can only feed ourselves if we have more than enough. But out of the little that we are getting, if you guys are wasting it or you throw it away instead of showing love to your neighbor and people around you, then ending hunger will be something that will be nowhere. So based on this, at every location that we distribute food, we do sensitization to people to share whatever they have in excess to their neighbor, to friends, and to colleagues at work. So these are some of what we've been doing at Food Click Support Initiative in order to end hunger. So we have a lot of programs targeted at different people, and we use this in tackling hunger. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, Ibrahim. I also just want to add to what he said. For our food boxes, which we have PepsiCo Foundation as our major partners in distributing the food boxes. For the World Food Day, Nuella Foundation is one of our major partners. BTA Foundation is also one of our major partners for the World Food Day. So those partners, collaborations with other foundations, collaborations with important philanthropists, collaboration with corporate organizations, and collaboration with also the media. Those are areas with which we get our funding, and then we get the resources to be able to continue to do interventions for the people that we do interventions for.
Yes, in addition to what Sukomi said about our message to the government on how to reduce hunger in the country, yes, one way is to make food available in the country, and the other way is to ensure that we discourage food wastage. So we are passing message across to the government that they should make agricultural science compulsory at our education sector, so that through agricultural science, people in the country will learn on how to produce food. As we all know, that's one of the major importance of agriculture, provision of food. And the other side of food wastage is that just as the way our government have been doing in Lagos metropolis, if you drop any dirt on the street, there is enforcement. So there should be a kind of enforcement for food wastage. So in case maybe those that are wasting food, if they know that, oh, there is any enforcement of that, they will know how to control themselves. Because if you look at this situation, you will see that a lot of people, they are finding it difficult to get food to eat, and why some people they are throwing the food away. So if this thing can be continued, I feel that government can come into our rescue in that way. Another thing is, somebody asked about how do we want people to help. This thing comes in 3 ways. And it's something that we spread every day. It's on our social media, it's on our website, and these are 1, volunteer, 2, donate, and 3 is to what? Advocate, which we believe that you member of the press can do more on that for us. Thank you.
So good afternoon, everyone. There's a question that caught my attention, which I would just like to put it. For example, when we do 450,000 meals, do we not feel like it's a drop in the ocean? But every outreach that we go for, there's always people that we leave behind, and this is always like the dilemma that we have to face every time. There are always people that we will leave behind. For example, the CEO was talking about when we started out, sometimes we only be able to feed like 200, 400, and now we are doing an outreach where we're feeding 10,000 at one go. So we can't let those we don't reach stop us. We have to be inspired by those that we continue to feed. And the thing for this year's World Food Day is also in line with one of the goals, SDG goals, which is collaboration for the goals. And that's why we need the people of the media. You know, so a young kid watches through the media and notices somebody like Bele, and then inspires to be like that. Maybe if the media, and this is, I'm directing this to the media, if we show more people or more organizations who are doing this job, and maybe we can inspire the next Bola Chico, and then we can make better strides towards the end.
As a parting shot to what he said, our former founder used to say one quote, Bolaji Kufadipe of blessed memory, who would say that for every successful outreach, I am happy, but I always go home sad. I am not sad because we didn't do well, but I am sad because of the people we are unable to feed. So for us, every time we are aware of the numbers of people that we are unable to reach, but we continue to try. We started our first World Food Day, we only served 1,000 meals. 10 years down the line, we are doing 10,000 meals. That shows progress. Before 10,000, we have already done 500,000, nearly 500,000 meals this year alone. It shows that we have come a long way, and then all we need is more support, more encouragement, and more collaborations to be able to do more and reach more people in more places. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the member of the press for those assistance rendered by the member of the press. So I think that we have gotten to our
A big thank you to everyone present here, members of the press. And yes, I'm sorry if we know this year's World Food Day important in my opinion, which is the party with the press, with the media, because if what we are trying to achieve isn't, if light isn't shone on it the way we want it to be, then it might not have the impact that we want it to have. So we are inviting members of the press to please collaborate with us, and even, you can even be our media partners or native partners so that we can help. It's a very good cause. It's a very commendable cause. Since I've been a part of it, I've never regretted it. And so I would like to appreciate every member of press that is here today. It's very, very important that we collaborate. All these goals, ending hunger, achieving food security, all these things, we need to shine the light on it more. And I pray that this week long, the lineup of events, that God puts his blessing on it, and it is as successful as we intend it to be. I pray for every member of press and volunteer that is here, that are individual lives, that that God puts blessings on it again. So thank you very much on behalf of Food League and everyone here. Thank you very much.